Would Seventh-day Adventists go so far as to try to defame a person and to invent their own stories in order to back up their claims? I will give you proof that they do just that in this video. As you know, Seventh-day Adventists would have people believe that the early church observed the Sabbath as the day of worship for more than 300 years after the death of Christ. They would also have people believe that no other day but the Sabbath was known to the early church. The problem is they don't have any proof of this. But because of that lack of proof, the SDA has now invented a story and try to pass it off as truth. Let me show you what I'm talking about now. In reference to changing of the Sabbath to Sunday, the Present Truth, which is a magazine of the Seventh-day Adventist, Volume 1, Number 9, talking about the changing of the Sabbath to Sunday, made this statement here, and I quote, "Thus it is plain how Sunday, the day devoted by the pagans to sun worship, came to be adopted by the Christian Church. No less eminent an authority than Schaeffer Herzog says," and the next frame I will show you how the Seventh-day Adventist try to quote from Schaeffer and Herzog dealing with the changing of the Sabbath from Saturday to Sunday, and then I will show you how they totally misrepresent this. Continuing with the quote from the Seventh-day Adventist, they say in the same article, "Sunday, Dies Solis of the Roman calendar, day of the sun, because dedicated to the sun, was adopted by the early church as a day of worship. The sun of the Latin adoration they interpreted as the sun of righteousness." They go on to say, "No regulation for its observation are laid down in the New Testament, nor indeed is its observation ever enjoyed." The SDA conclude their article by saying, "These authorities have pictured before us the work of a great apostasy, a falling away of the pure principles of the gospel of Christ, and the gradual acceptance by the professed Christians of the early church of a religious practice of paganism. Besides observation of the first day of the week, other heathen practices crept in." End quote from the Seventh-day Adventist. This now is the article, and the real article that appeared in the encyclopedia. Everything you see in capital letters here are things that were left out by the Seventh-day Adventist. So let me read it as the article really was. "Sunday, Dies Solis of the Roman calendar, day of the sun, because dedicated to the sun, was adopted by the early church as a day of worship. The sun of Latin adoration they interpreted as the sun of righteousness." And here's what the Seventh-day Adventists leave out. "Sunday was emphatically the week of feast of the resurrection of Christ. And the Jewish Sabbath was the feast of the creation. It was called the Lord's Day, and upon it is the primitive church assembled to break bread," in Acts 20, verse 7, and 1 Corinthians 16:2. Continuing, "No regulations for its observations are laid down in the New Testament, nor indeed is its observation ever enjoyed. Yet Christians, feeling led to the universal adoption of the day, in imitation of the apostolic precedents, in the 2nd century, its observation was universal." The observation of what? Sunday worship was universal. So what you have just seen is how Seventh-day Adventists will deceive people, change articles, and invent stories just to support their false notions. Lying doesn't matter, deceiving people doesn't matter, misrepresenting people doesn't matter, and defaming people doesn't matter to them. They have taken an article, and I've shown how they misused it. I've shown how they used part of the article, and showed the entire article, just to see how much they will misrepresent the truth. It's hard to understand why professed religious leaders can do such a thing as to try to misrepresent Schaeffer. If the case of the Seventh-day Adventist needs such misrepresentation of facts, then it is not even worth a moment's consideration to even think about the Seventh-day Adventist. Never should it be accepted by those who love the truth, because there is no truth in them. You need to read this, look over it again, and see just how deceptive these people are, and what lengths they will go to lie and deceive people into believing their lies. They're not even worthy of a moment's consideration. God bless you.